Screencast here is going to cover Chapter 3 in InDesign, Lesson 2 only. Kind of another big one here as far as getting things structured. Let me show you what we're going to end up with. What we're going to end up with is kind of a different look in our Pages panel. If you look over here at your Pages panel, you've got, we're going to have an A master, a B master, and a C master with all corresponding pages underneath it. So what we're going to be working with is taking that original layout we just made and flipping it and shifting things around and making different masters so we can start actually adding content. So make sure you have your setup document open, and what we're going to start with is drawing a text tool. So let's go to our text tool, and before we start drawing on our text tool, let's verify our stroke and our fill color is default. So if that didn't show up, I'm going to go back to my selection tool, come up to the control panel up at the top, and I'm going to select stroke as none and none. We can come back and change if we need to. And then I'm going to go to my text box. And with my text box selected, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to drag a little box somewhere on top of that yellow, and then I'm going to go to my selection tool, and I'm going to change it. So where I want the actual box, the text box here, is I'm going to drag it out so it's sitting on the red vertical line and sitting on the purple column, and that it's up at the top a little bit above the column there, and then almost sitting on the yellow line down there. And then let's go ahead and type in here location. And I'm going to select that, and I'm going to go to Window, and I'm going to go to Workspace, Typography, and I'm going to get my Characters palette pulled up here. So my Characters palette, the type of font I'm looking for, it's called Hobo. And I'm going to select Hobo, and I'm going to make my size about 60. And then I'm going to center it up in my text frame. And now you can see that you have the words typed in location. Actually, I'm going to go back and change that. I like the all caps. Let's change location to all caps location. Now, if yours doesn't fit all the way, that's okay, because we're going to change a couple of things. When you're on your text tool and you have your text selected, come up here to your options bar up top. We're going to change a couple things. So I've got Hobo selected at 60 point. I'm going to change what's called my horizontal scale, which is currently at 100%. I'm going to drop it down to 75. That was my horizontal scale. It's a little bit different than changing the font point. It just scales the text down itself. Okay, so with that selected, then I'm going to go to my text tool and make sure that I have my text box selected. Now with my text frame selected, I'm going to go up to my menu, and I'm going to go to Type, not Type, Object. Go to Object and then go to Text Frame Options. So within my text frame option, I want my alignment to be bottom on my vertical justification. Vertical's up and down. Now watch it when you click OK. It's going to drop location down on the line. And that's exactly what we're looking for. Now I'm going to go ahead and click off the actual text box. We can see that I've got location sitting just about on the yellow line there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw another text box. So I'm going to go back, get my text frame, and I'm going to put one. I'm going to make a little thin strip. I'm going to click and drag. I'm going to make a little thin strip right in here, and I'm going to type in there day/date. And I want the same font, so I'm going to go select Hobo as my font, and I'm going to change my size to, not 30. Let's do about, I'm going to type in 20. Yeah, 20 looks good. On my options bar up top, I'm going to go ahead and center it. And that looks good. So I've got then, if I click off of that, I've got a text box for location, a text box for date, 2 blank text boxes here for my document. Now the next part is going to be doing some automatic page numbering. It's similar to like when you write a paper and you put page numbers in the top corners and how it changes from page to page. how we're going to do that is actually go to the Pages panel. So open up the Pages panel. If you don't see that, go to Window Pages or go to, Window Pages would be the best way to change your workspace to typography or essentials. So with the Pages panel open, we're going to spend some time in here. Let's add a page number, essentially, in the bottom right corner. So let's go to our text tool, and I'm going to draw a kind of a thin box right down here, staying within my grid lines, my column grid lines down there, and I'm going to type in city. And when I type in city, I'm just going to leave the default font, and then I'm going to go up to my menu and go to type, and I'm going to go to insert special characters, and then I'm going to add in a marker, and it's going to say current page number, and it puts a letter in there, current page number. Now I don't like how tight city and A are close to each other, so I'm going to click between city and A, and put in 5 spaces. 5 spaces, there we go. There's other things we can do, but I'm just going to simply just put in 5 spaces. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my my selection tool, and I'm going to change the way things are aligned. So I'm going to go to my text tool. So text tool, I'm going to make sure that is right aligned, so it looks like this. So it's right aligned, and I'm going to go back to Object Text Frame Options, and I'm going to change my vertical alignment to bottom. There we go. So now it looks like it's actually in the bottom corner of my page, like a page number should look. So we're going to keep that there, but we're also going to flip that and put it on the other side of our page. So click on the text box and do a copy, paste. When you do a copy paste, it puts it in the center of your document, and however you would like to move it, go ahead and move it to the bottom left-hand corner. So now that's in the bottom left-hand corner, let's just go to our text tool and get things changed around. So now that I'm in my text tool, I'm going to do a left alignment, and then I'm going to select city and do a Command X to cut. And then I'm going to click after A, right after the A, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces and paste city. Then I'm going to click before the A, and I'm going to get rid of my 5 spaces I had there before. I'm going to go to my selection tool. So basically it's just taking the same thing and flipping it, and there's 3 or 4 more ways you can do that. There's some fancy things in the menus, but just typing in spaces and just copying and pasting and cutting is probably the most easiest method that I can think of. So as it stands right now, this is our A master. We've been designing everything on the A master, and we've had 10 pages being built underneath this, all off of this one template, so we don't have to mess with it again. But what we can also do is make multiple masters. So now that you're here on A master, come up to your Pages panel and click the drop down arrow up here on the right corner. And we want to select New Master. So with New Master selected, the prefix is going to stay letter B, and this is going to be based on the A master. It's going to be based on the A master. And then click OK. Notice in your Pages panel then, you have an A master and a B master. Please double click B master. This is where it's going to start getting a little confusing, so really stay with me here. Pause the video, rewind it if you need to. So with B master selected, we're basically going to flip the entire page. So how I'm going to do that, I'm just going to go to my selection tool, and with my selection tool selected, I'm going to zoom out here, Command minus, and I'm going to click on my blue box that I have. And if you can't select your box, so if you can't select your box, like it's not letting you select it, hold down Command Shift and then click on the box. So with that box selected, I'm going to move it over here to the right. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag a marquee around everything that's on the right side of my page. If you still can't select, do a Command Shift A and start clicking on something. So I'm drawing a marquee. Maybe I need to do a Command Shift A. Now I might select everything. So if you can't click on any text box, do Command-Shift-A and start clicking on things. Command-Shift-A, Command-Shift-A. I want to have my text box selected. I want my yellow box selected. I'm going to move that out of the way. Oh, there's my text. Make sure I can click on that. So now I'm going to draw a little marquee around it to have it selected. All objects selected. And with my selection tool still, I'm going to shift everything over here to the right side of my page. And that time I didn't get my yellow box selected, so I still can't select on my yellow box. So I need to do Command-Shift, click, and now I can move it over to the left side of the screen. And the reason you can't click on it right off the bat is because it's locked down. And the reason it's locked down is because we copied a master and pasted a master, so it's going to lock it down. Now I'm going to take my blue box and I'm going to shift it over here, get it lined up. So now we have the direct inverse of what we had. And take note, I'm going to zoom back in here. Take note that it now says B City because it's our master that's actually changed. It's our master that's actually changed. Let's do a Command-S to save. It's a good place to save. So now we've got, and go ahead and come up here to your Pages panel, A master, B master. I'm just clicking on these to change. It's the direct flip inverse of the other. Get on B master. Now that you're on B master, we're going to make another new master. So on your Pages panel, click the drop-down arrow and say New Master. And this time, this is going to be a C, and it's going to be based on none. None. It's not going to be based on any master for this one. Go ahead and click OK. So in our C master, there's nothing here, but it's set up the way our other ones are. And if you look at your Pages panel here now, you can see that you've got an A master, B master, and a C master. Let's go back to the A master. On the A master, do a Command-A to select the entire document. And then do a Command-C to copy. And then let's double-click C master, and let's do an Edit, Paste in Place. Now we've just made a direct copy of master A on the master C copy. So we're going to take this, but now we're going to flip it vertically. So how we're going to do that is, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to drag a marquee. Watch this. I'm going to drag a marquee and I'm going to select everything but the blue and yellow box. So if you accidentally get this blue box selected up top, you got to be careful of that. We don't want that one. I'm just going to take my marquee. I'm going to put a slice down the middle here. There we go. So the only thing I want selected here is my ruler, my yellow box, my 2 text boxes, and my 5 blue boxes. And I'm going to get on my selection tool and I'm going to move them to the top of the page and kind of get them centered up there and then let go. Now, before you start clicking around, just go up to Object, Hide. We'll come back to it. Now let's go ahead and shift everything down, because remember, this is what we're headed towards. This is the image I want to make. So all we got to do now is let's take our blue box and we're going to shift it down on the page to the bottom corner. And if you need to, I'm going to go ahead and move that out of the way first. I'm going to select the rest of my document on the side. I'm going to move. I'm going to move it around. And it may text stick. You use your arrow keys to move around too. If I select on something, use my arrow keys. The tricky thing though is getting the yellow box lined up just enough with the blue box, and you can click off it. So, oops, still didn't get it. There we go. So now it's perfectly lined up. Now what I can do is go back up to Object and say Show All on Spread. So when I hid that image, now I can bring it right back. Notice that there is a white gap between the two, but that's because I have my line all the way up top. I'm just going to use my arrow keys, and I'm going to shift that line down to fill in that gap between the two. Now this is where you need to make minor adjustments if needed. Like I need to stretch out this yellow box just a titch to cover everything, and I still have my city C there. And I'm going to go ahead and with my city C, I'm going to click on those boxes for City C, and I'm going to delete them. We don't actually need them for this one. So you've got an A master, a B master, and a C master. The A master has location on the top right, bars down at the bottom. The B master was the direct flipped horizontal inverse of master A, and C master is the vertical flipped inverse for the entire document. Do a Command S to save, and that will conclude lesson 2 in chapter 3.